Welcome to the Mixed Media Ventures podcast, your go-to for smart, actionable digital marketing strategies to grow, scale, and win in today's online economy. Join us now for our latest episode.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. We basically take a whole load of information, find the really crucial bits, and give them to you straight. Think of us as your shortcut to getting properly informed.
And today, we're really zeroing in on competitive analysis, specifically how smart companies use it to, get ahead in the digital world.
Right, and for this, we've looked at a bunch of sources, haven't we?
We have mostly blog posts, articles focused on competitive analysis, digital marketing strategies, that kind of thing.
And the goal, what do we want you, the listener, to get out of this?
Well, the idea is to give you a solid strategic grasp of competitor analysis. We'll look at the modern tools and techniques folks are using.
Hopefully deliver some insights you can actually use yourself without making your head spin.
Exactly. Keep it actionable, keep it clear.
And just to set the stage, there's that great quote from Mike Lee Porter. What was it again?
Yes. The objective of a competitor analysis is to develop a profile of the nature and success of the likely strategy changes each competitor might make.
Which really nails it, doesn't it? It's not just like watching them. It's about predicting their next move. Strategically.
Precisely. And it's important to stress this isn't about, dodgy spying or anything.
Nope.
It's about really understanding the market, spotting trends early, maybe finding those gaps, those opportunities nobody else has seen yet.
Okay, let's get into it then. We all have some idea of traditional competitive analysis. But why don't those older methods really work anymore, especially online?
Well, the biggest thing is just the sheer speed and amount of data now. Traditional ways often relied on looking back at historical data, using old models.
Right.
The problem is that leaves you totally blind to what's happening now. Real-time insights, trends that pop up overnight. You miss all that.
It's like trying to drive using only the rearview mirror while everyone else has live traffic updates.
That's a perfect analogy, yeah. And another thing is how often they did it. Sporadically.
Like a quarterly report or something.
Exactly, maybe an annual review. If you're only writing the easy-to-find info now and then, you're creating massive blind spots. You just don't get that continuous picture you need today.
Right. You're seeing snapshots, not the whole film.
Yeah.
What else makes those old ways kind of obsolete now?
Well, linking to that, there's often this dangerously narrow focus. Companies tend to fixate on their direct rivals, the ones selling basically the same thing.
Yeah, the obvious ones.
But the threats now, they can come from anywhere. Non-traditional players, totally disruptive innovations. They can just change the whole game. Ignoring those, that can be a huge mistake.
Think Blockbuster and Netflix.
Right.
Not initially direct competitors in the old sense.
Exactly. That kind of disruption. And one last point on this, treating it like a one-off project.
Tick the box, done.
Yeah. Conduct the analysis, file it away. But the digital market changes constantly. New players, new tactics. That analysis is useless almost immediately. It has to be ongoing, part of your core strategy.
Okay, so the old playbook's out. What does modern competitive analysis actually involve? What are the key techniques now?
It's much more multifaceted. It combines lots of different data sources, uses more advanced tools, gives you much richer, more dynamic picture.
Like what, for instance?
Social media monitoring is huge. You track what competitors are doing, saying how customers are reacting on platforms like Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn.
So you get real-time insights into their strategies, their promotions.
Exactly, and how they're engaging with customers, or maybe not engaging. It's like having a window into their public conversations.
Fascinating, like tapping into their live feedback. What else?
Keeping up with industry publications and news is still vital. You get info on developments, new partnerships, trends, regulatory shifts.
So understanding the whole ecosystem, not just their direct actions.
Precisely. You need that context. And then there's benchmarking.
Comparing yourself to others.
Right. Two main types. Competitive benchmarking, direct comparison with your rivals, and functional benchmarking.
Functional, what's that?
That's where you compare specific functions like customer support or maybe logistics against the best companies out there, even if they're in a totally different industry.
Oh, interesting. So a software company might look at how, say, Zappos handles customer onboarding.
Exactly. Learning from the best in class, regardless of their field. And the key thing weaving through all this is that it's ongoing.
Not a one-time thing.
Never. You're constantly tracking their products, pricing, staffing changes, R&D, market potential, industry trends. It's continuous awareness.
Constant strategic awareness.
Got it. And this is where technology really helps. automated tracking systems, data analysis platforms.
Yeah, the tools.
Yeah. These can crunch real-time data on pricing changes, marketing performance, customer interactions. You can react much faster.
Yeah.
Imagine getting an alert the second a competitor changes a key price.
So spotting threats and opportunities almost instantly.
Exactly. It helps you find those market gaps, tweak your own strategy, improve your offerings, figure out where to put your resources for the best bang for your buck. It's about being agile.
And I guess a big part of this is digging into their online presence, your websites and all that.
Oh, absolutely critical. Analyzing their website, their whole digital footprint, it's vital.
What specifically are you looking for?
Their content strategy, what are they posting, how often, where, their website's user experience, is it easy to use, engaging, what digital marketing tactics are they actually using?
Right.
Understanding all that can show you where you can differentiate yourself. So yeah, pulling intelligence from social, from publications, from their websites, that gives you the complete picture.
Now, talking about digital competition, it feels wider than just companies with similar products. Who are our digital competitors today?
That's a really key point. It's much broader. In the digital space, your competitor is basically anyone fighting for your target audience's attention online.
So not just selling the same stuff, but anyone trying to grab the same eyeballs, the same clicks.
Exactly. Your customer only has so much time and attention online, and we can kind of split competitors into two groups, direct and indirect.
Direct is the obvious one.
Yeah. Similar products or services, same target customers. Think Netflix versus Hulu, McDonald's versus Burger King, head to head.
Got it. And indirect.
Indirect competitors offer different things, but they still compete for your audience's attention and maybe more importantly, their budget.
Okay. Give me an example.
Streaming services versus traditional cable TV. Different delivery, but competing for the same entertainment spend and time. Or maybe a meal kit service versus a local supermarket.
Right. Different solutions, but addressing a similar need or desire. So how do you actually find all these competitors, direct and indirect, online?
Good question. Few key ways. First, really examine your own value proposition. What core need do you meet? Then look for who else meets that same need, even differently. Second, watch social media chatter. Who's your audience talking about? Who are they engaging with? Third, track keywords in search engines. Who else ranks for the terms your customers use?
Okay.
And finally, analyze paid ads. Who's bidding on the same keywords, targeting the same people?
That's pretty concrete. And you mentioned direct and indirect competitors might need different strategies.
Yeah, generally. Direct competitors often get into fierce fights, sometimes price wars. They focus on direct comparisons.
Right.
Indirect competitors usually focus more on highlighting their unique value, building a distinct position long-term, less about price, more about unique appeal.
Okay, direct is the immediate fight. Indirect is carving out your own space. So once we know who they are, how do we figure out where we actually stand compared to them? Our market position.
That's where market position analysis comes in, and a really useful tool here is position mapping.
Position mapping.
Yeah, think of it like drawing a chart. It visualizes how your product is seen compared to competitors, but crucially through your customer's eyes. What factors do they care about most when choosing? Those factors become the axes on your map.
So it's all about customer perception, the criteria they use. What kind of factors or dimensions are we usually talking about?
Well, for digital businesses, things like website performance speed, usability, mobile friendliness, that's huge. Marketing channel effectiveness, are you reaching people where they are? Customer engagement levels.
How well are you connecting with people?
Exactly. And your overall product positioning strategy, how are you communicating your unique value? The specific dimensions depend on your industry, of course.
So it's a wide view site, marketing, engagement, messaging. What specific things should we be tracking for competitors across these areas?
Get specific. If you're local, check their local listings visibility. Track their search rankings for relevant keywords. Measure their digital engagement likes, shares, comments, not just followers. Evaluate their content. What are they making? How's it performing?
And are there frameworks to help organize all this info?
Definitely. SWOT analysis, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats is great for this. It helps compare you to competitors and can flag up quick wins where you have an edge or they have a weakness.
Makes sense.
And don't forget to check out their tech stack.
Their technology.
Sometimes understanding the tools they use can reveal innovation opportunities or maybe areas where they're behind the curve.
Interesting angle. And social media monitoring, you keep mentioning that.
Yes, absolutely critical for positioning. But again, focus on engagement metrics, not just follower counts. Comments, shares, real interaction that tells you much more about how well they're actually connecting versus just having a big audience. It shows where you might differentiate through better interaction.
Quality over quantity.
Yeah.
Got it. Any specific tools that help with this position analysis?
Oh, yeah. Tools like SEMrush are invaluable for seeing competitor backlinks who links to them, showing authority and tracking their keyword ranking changes. Great for SEO insights. And SimilarWeb can give you detailed info on where their website traffic comes from. Helps you understand which marketing channels are working for them.
So data-driven insights. And as you said, this isn't a one-shot deal.
No way. Position analysis has to be ongoing. Markets shift, competitors change tactics, new ones arrive. You have to keep monitoring and adapting to stay ahead.
Okay, let's drill down into the actual online research. When we're investigating competitors online, what are the absolute must-check areas?
I'd say there are 4 main areas to really focus on. Website performance, marketing channels, customer engagement, and product positioning.
Right, let's start with website performance. What should we be looking at on their sites?
A deep dive into their website tells you a lot. Look at the site structure, the navigation. Is it easy to find stuff? How's the user experience overall? Is it smooth, intuitive? Check how they organize key content products, blogs, support docs. How do they guide visitors through, the customer journey from landing page to maybe making a purchase?
Understanding their online shop front and how it works.
Exactly. And like we said, tools like SEMrush or Ahrefs help track their organic keywords and backlinks. That points to content gaps you might fill or ways to boost your own search visibility.
What specific website elements should we examine?
Definitely look at the site architecture, how content is presented visually, page load speed, that's crucial, mobile responsiveness, obviously, and what call to action elements they use to get people to convert.
Very actionable.
Yeah.
Okay, next area, marketing channels. Where do we focus our research there?
You need to know where and how they're connecting with their audience. And honestly, for most businesses now, social media is probably the #1 channel for that direct connection.
Yeah.
So you have to be watching their activity there closely.
Makes sense. That's where a lot of the interaction happens. What other channels?
Look at their blog topics, frequency. How active are they on social, just broadcasting or actually talking with people? Are they doing email marketing? What about paid ads, search ads, social ads?
Their whole marketing mix online.
Right. Tools like BuzzSumo can show you their most popular content, what resonates. And SpyFu is great for digging into their pay-per-click strategies, keywords, ad copy. It helps you see what channels are likely working best for them.
Okay, mapping out their content, engagement, and ad spend. What about customer engagement? How do we analyze that from the outside?
Analyzing how they interact with customers can reveal big opportunities for you. Look at things like response times to inquiries. How fast are they? How helpful? What's their style on social media? Conversational, formal.
Right.
Are they building a community? What support channels do they offer? Chat, phone, email?
So understanding their service style and relationship building.
Exactly. And social listening tools are gold here. They monitor mentions of competitors across the web. You can gauge customer sentiment, happy, frustrated, and spot recurring complaints or areas where they're falling short. Those are your openings.
Like getting unfiltered feedback about them.
Yeah.
Okay, final area, product positioning. What are we looking for there?
This is all about how they present their stuff to the market. What's their unique value proposition? What makes them supposedly different or better? How well do they communicate those benefits?
So their core message, who it's for, and their special sauce.
Pretty much. Look at the core benefits they push, their target audience profile, their differentiation strategy, how to try to stand out, and their pricing premium, budget, mid-range.
Right.
Good positioning shapes everything: product development, pricing, partnerships. And remember, it's not static. You need to keep monitoring their messaging to see if they shift focus. Automated tracking helps spot those changes quickly on their site or socials.
That gives us a really solid checklist for online research. Now, this sounds like it could generate a ton of data. How can tech, especially AI, help make this analysis more efficient and maybe find deeper insights?
This is where AI has been a total game changer. AI tools can do things, analyze data in ways that humans just couldn't manage manually. They leverage complex algorithms, machine learning. It's powerful stuff.
Okay, so how's AI specifically changing the game here?
One of the biggest impacts is through automated tracking systems. AI platforms can constantly monitor competitors across tons of channels: websites, social media, job boards, review sites.
Does that?
Yeah, 24/7. They pick up Website changes, pricing shifts, new marketing campaigns, you name it. And crucially, many give you real-time alerts, so you know instantly if a competitor makes a big move.
Wow, like having a digital spy working around the clock.
Yeah.
Any examples of these tools?
Sure. There's Compite, for instance. It uses AI to pull competitor intel into one place, tracks website changes, reviews, social, even job openings, which can signal growth plans. Crayon is another one. It uses AI for anomaly detection, spotting unusual patterns in competitor marketing or messaging. Could be a sign of a new launch or a strategy shift.
So not just recording changes, but flagging stuff that's unusual or important. What are the main benefits of using these AI tracking systems?
Huge benefits. Real-time detection of site changes, instant price alerts, tracking hiring trends, monitoring support doc updates, analyzing reviews at scale for sentiment, keeping tabs on press releases.
That covers a lot.
And it saves massive amounts of time. We're talking potentially 10 to 30 hours saved per analysis cycle compared to doing it manually. Plus, many have AI-powered media monitoring built in, tracking brand mentions and sentiment online. It's incredibly comprehensive.
That's a huge efficiency gain.
Yeah.
And gives a much clearer, faster picture. What about actually analyzing all that data? How does AI help turn raw info into strategy?
That's the other side of the coin. AI-powered data analysis platforms. They ingest all this data and use machine learning to find patterns, predict trends, even suggest actions.
So they don't just collect data, they help make sense of it and look ahead.
Exactly. Take Sprout Social, for example. It uses AI for sentiment analysis on social media chatter about competitors. It goes way beyond just counting mentions. It understands the feeling behind the comments. It can also analyze historical data to spot behavioral trends. Really valuable for understanding market perception.
That nuanced understanding of sentiment sounds incredibly powerful. What other advantages do these analysis platforms offer?
Well, you can make truly data-driven decisions. You get predictive analytics to anticipate market shifts. You can optimize your own processes based on competitor benchmarks, reduce human error in analysis, generate much deeper customer insights.
Sounds like it touches many areas.
It does. Even in market research, AI is playing a big role. Morning Consult uses AI on survey data to find trend narratives. AI web scraping tools automatically pull structured data like product catalogs and pricing. There's even computer vision AI analyzing competitor images and marketing visuals.
Wow.
And platforms like Clue use AI to analyze thousands of competitor reviews for sentiment and weaknesses. They often offer customizable reports and visualizations too, tracking things over time, predicting behavior, finding untapped markets.
So deeper insights, less time, easier interpretation of complex data.
Basically, yes, it makes expert-level competitive intelligence much more accessible.
It's clear AI is a massive lever here.
Yeah.
Now, shifting gears a bit. Beyond just seeing what competitors do right, what can we learn from their mistakes, from studying where they mess up?
Oh, studying competitor mistakes is incredibly valuable. It's like getting free lessons on what not to do. Saves you time, money, and potentially big headaches.
Right.
And it's interesting, research shows a big gap between what businesses think customers want and what customers feel they get. Lots of people feel businesses don't understand them or they get irrelevant marketing. Analyzing competitor failures can highlight where those gaps are.
So watching them fail helps us avoid the same traps.
Yeah.
What are some common mistakes you see businesses making online?
A big one, surprisingly, is underestimating costs and just not having a solid plan. Winging it digitally is rarely a good idea. Poor website design and bad user experience, that's another killer. Your website is your shop window online. If it's clunky or confusing, people leave.
Instantly lose credibility.
Exactly. Ignoring customer feedback is another classic mistake. Negative comments spread fast online. Also things like not having a clear differentiator, not engaging enough with customers, weak marketing, setting unrealistic goals. The list goes on.
Seems like some fundamental things can go wrong. How can we strategically use our knowledge of these weaknesses to build our own strengths?
By seeing where they consistently fall short, you can specifically target those areas. For instance, if a competitor is bad at engaging customers beyond just selling, you can focus on building real relationships, community, better communication, personalization.
Turn their weakness into your advantage.
Precisely. Offering super fast customer service, maybe using conversational marketing tools, can give you a tactical edge over slower competitors. And remember, a competitor's strength in one area might actually be a weakness in another market segment.
Good point. A broad approach might miss niche needs. So, what specific strategies can we use to leverage their weaknesses?
You could focus on niche segments they overlook. Position your brand directly against their known limitations. They do X badly, we excel at X. Emphasize flexibility or personalization if they're known for being rigid. Address specific customer pain points they ignore. Learn from their failed campaigns to improve your own. Listen to customers who've switched from them to you. They often have great insights into why they left.
Direct feedback.
But always stay professional. Never bash competitors directly in your marketing. Just focus on your strengths where they are weak. Use tools like Google Alerts, follow their blogs, watch social media to stay informed, and ultimately know your own product and audience inside out. That's key to exploiting their weaknesses effectively. And keep monitoring. They might fix their problems or new weaknesses might emerge.
Learning from their failures sounds like a smart shortcut. Okay, we've spent a lot of time analyzing the competition. How do we actually take all this intelligence and turn it into a real, sustainable competitive edge for us?
Yeah, building that edge takes more than just watching rivals. Nielsen found that most consumers, something like 66%, are actually willing to pay more for brands they see as different and innovative. That really highlights the need for a unique value proposition.
Okay, let's unpack that unique value proposition, or UVP. What is it exactly, and why is it so critical?
Your UVP is basically the clear promise of value you offer. It defines the problem you solve for customers and why they should choose you over anyone else. Without a strong, clear UVP, there's just no compelling reason for them to pick you. It answers that fundamental question, why you?
So it's the core reason someone buys from you, clearly stated. What makes a good UVP?
A strong UVP has to pinpoint the customer's needs or pain points. Then it has to clearly show how your product or service solves that problem. It needs to communicate the specific benefits they'll get. And it has to align with your overall brand and market position.
Right.
It's the bridge between their problem and your solution. And as Steve Blank always says, focus on the benefits, not just the features. What's in it for them?
Makes total sense. Focus on their outcome. Beyond the UVP, what other ways can we actively differentiate ourselves in the market?
Several strategies work. You could aim for quality excellence, just be demonstrably better, or design innovation, create something unique, maybe more functional or beautiful. Service leadership, offer outstanding customer service that builds loyalty. Brand identity builds a strong, resonant brand people connect with emotionally. Customization is also big. Tailoring products or services boosts satisfaction.
So finding a specific angle.
Exactly. Even process innovation, finding more efficient or unique ways to operate, can be a sustainable advantage that's hard to copy. And social media is huge for differentiation through content marketing and genuine engagement. AI is also helping here, understanding customer behavior better to personalize offers. Sometimes a truly novel UVP can even expand the whole market by finding underserved needs.
So finding that sweet spot, better, different, or more tailored. How do we make sure this edge lasts? How do we maintain it?
It's definitely not a one-and-done thing. You need continuous innovation to stay ahead. Regularly reassess your market position as it's still relevant, still different. Actively get and use customer feedback for improvement. And strategically allocate resources, money, people to support your core differentiators. Really understanding your target audience, their demographics, interests, pain points, is crucial for tailoring your message. High-quality, in-depth content builds trust. Maybe even run regular live events on social to engage people and show expertise.
Sounds like a continuous cycle of innovation, checking, and adapting.
Yeah.
Now, for people wanting quicker results, what are some immediate improvements or tactics for quick wins in the digital space?
Yeah, in digital, speed matters. And given how many people switch after just one bad experience, quick fixes in key areas can make a real difference fast.
Okay, so what are some relatively easy wins we can grab?
Website optimization is often low-hanging fruit. We know even tiny delays in loading time hurt revenue. Look at Amazon's research. Tools like Google Lighthouse or GT Metrics can quickly show you slow elements, mobile issues, security gaps, navigation problems, things you can often fix relatively easily. Improving customer service responsiveness is another one, especially with younger consumers having high expectations. AI chatbots for instant answers or live chat can make a big difference quickly. And simple things like clear FAQs and easy return processes build trust fast. Even just implementing cookies properly for personalization can improve engagement right away.
Those sound like straightforward fixes with potentially big impacts. Any other fast tactics?
Use real-time data analysis. Watch your analytics, page views, bounce rates, conversions. Spot problems or opportunities fast and adjust campaigns or content immediately. Video content often gets quick engagement. Many people say it influences their buying decisions.
Right.
Optimizing your supply chain, if relevant, for speed and cost savings. Using those automated competitor tracking systems we talked about gives you immediate alerts to react to. Basic personalization, like abandoned cart recovery emails, can bring quick sales wins. Cost leadership through operational tweaks can give an immediate price advantage. Even just getting inventory management right can quickly cut costs and boost profit.
Tangible actions for fairly quick results. Okay, now shifting to the long game. How do we build a truly sustainable competitive advantage that lasts?
Right, this is about endurance. Michael Porter said, an effective competitive strategy takes offensive or defensive action to create a defendable position. Building that long-term defense requires deeply aligning your digital marketing with your overall business objectives. Research shows digitally aligned companies consistently outperform others.
So it's not just a marketing thing. It has to be woven into the core long-term strategy.
Absolutely. Leading companies often use 5-10-year strategic plans. These map out goals for market share, brand equity, stakeholder satisfaction, the big picture.
What does that planning achieve?
It defines the vision, sets clear goals, improves collaboration, boosts efficiency. It guides daily decisions, but always with the long term in mind. It should cover innovation, values, mission, key performance indicators. And strong company cultures often underpin long-term leadership.
How do you know if a long-term strategy is likely to work?
You need to check its alignment. Is it right for your values? Is it actually feasible? Will it create real value? Does the cost-benefit stack up? Is the timeline realistic? Do your stakeholders buy into it?
A very thorough check.
Yeah.
What about resources? How does allocating them strategically fit in?
The resource-based view strategy says sustainable advantage comes from leveraging your unique internal resources, especially your people. You need to know your team's skills, competencies, experience, capacity.
Understand what you've got internally.
Exactly. Identify your critical resources and skills. Where are you strong? Where are the gaps? Then you can enhance capabilities, fix bottlenecks, focus on developing resources competitors can't easily copy, exclusive contracts, patents, great compensation packages to keep top talent. Continuous R&D and a strong culture also create advantages that are hard to replicate.
So nurturing and leveraging unique internal strengths. And finally, team alignment. How critical is that for the long haul?
Absolutely critical. Misalignment between teams wastes time, money, effort. It kills productivity. Organizations where teams are aligned around a clear vision are just more efficient, more innovative, and perform better.
How do you achieve that alignment?
Clear vision, shared SMART goals that cascade down, strong cross-functional collaboration, incentives aligned with strategy, and leadership alignment is key. If the leaders are pulling in the same direction, it sets the tone. Celebrating wins together reinforces that shared purpose, and it requires continuous improvement, succession planning, building multi-skilled teams through training and development. It's all about developing those unique, valuable internal resources and constantly assessing and adapting to stay ahead.
This has been incredibly thorough, a real deep dive into competitive analysis. If you had to pick one key takeaway for our listeners, what would it be?
I'd say the main thing is that smart, ongoing competitor analysis isn't just nice to have anymore. In the digital world, it's absolutely essential for success. It means taking immediate actions based on insights, but also building that long-term strategic foundation.
And it seems like modern tools, especially AI, are really changing how this is done.
Oh, completely. AI gives you the power to track, analyze, and spot opportunities and threats with a speed and scale that just wasn't possible before. It's a genuine game changer.
But the tools alone aren't enough. Right?
Exactly. Tools are just tools. You still need a clear strategy behind them, and you need to consistently execute based on the intelligence you gather.
So it boils down to combining that competitive intelligence with creating your own unique value and maybe learning from others' mistakes too.
Precisely. The best companies do both. They watch the competition closely, learn from it, but focus heavily on building their own distinct advantages and meeting customer needs better than anyone else.
Okay, so maybe a final thought for everyone listening. Don't just think about what your competitors are doing now. Try to anticipate their next unforeseen move, because preparing for that uncertainty, that might just be the ultimate competitive advantage. Thanks so much for sharing all this expertise today.
My pleasure. It's a critical topic.
Thanks for listening to the Mixed Media Ventures podcast. To see the corresponding blog post, head over to www.mixedmediaventures.com now. Thanks again for dropping by, and see you next episode.